What up, though? And welcome back to I'm Growing Man. It's your man, John D, in the building. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back again. I'm out here in the Three Seasons room. We didn't remove the screens and put up the window panes, but it's still cold up in here, so I don't know how many more episodes is going to be in here. We are in October. I wanted to give a special shout out to all the families that were impacted by the hurricane. I hear that there's another one coming, so hopefully you guys are taking the proper measures to stay safe. Today, I wanted to talk about, parenting as a teacher. And when I say that, I'm saying like being in education for so long, you want your students to have the best information possible. And I often think about the parents that are sending their kids to school to get this education. You'll have parents that were put in compromising situations and became parents too soon, parents with the wrong people. And then you have products of that, and you can see those students. And I'm thinking, as a parent and as a teacher in my household, I'm blessed that I was able to give my kids more of a polishing than I grew up with. Because some of these kids remind me of myself. And their parents are doing the best that they can do. That I know from their perspective. And I wish I could give the messages to my kids so they know that, or how grateful they should be, knowing that as a parent, we're trying to provide them with opportunities that we didn't have and try to remove some of the roles that we felt like that was unnecessary. And talking with a friend yesterday, it's caused a big dilemma in crippling our kids for the future. A lot of the roles that we took gave us survival tactics to be able to maneuver. And we're taking that problem solving away from our kids because we feel like if our parents gave us this. That's why I believe that every person has the potential to literally do whatever they want. It's just a specific road, and you got to hope that your team around you can support you. But regardless, if you don't put the effort in, you can't expect to get whatever you want. And I'll say, a lot of people don't know how much effort it takes. People think, I go to work every day. You do, but are you going to work to just go to work? Or are you going to work so that you don't have to remain in that position? I know a lot of people that's real comfortable in their job, and they're comfortable with the raises they get every year. And it's very difficult to move that way if you don't have something like developing in the background. It's like you're on a program on a computer, but you got things working in the background. You should always have something to put you in a position to end up in the life you want to live in. For example, this podcast. I always wanted to try to figure out what would my purpose be in life. And I think it deals with communication and helping people. My entire life, I've been trying to help students get to a place that they feel like they want to get to. And now I'm just trying to figure out how I can give those words to say, hey, you have to work harder than people around you. Because the people around you could be distractions unless you have that many good people that are guiding you. And a lot of us don't have that mentorship or the support team that we think we're supposed to have. And if we don't have it, it's because we're supposed to create it. That's what I've always had the excuse, like, why couldn't I have somebody saying, hey, you should do it this way? And I realized that depending on your journey, you won't get that. Are you going to sit around and be upset that you didn't have that part? Or are you going to create and become that person or that entity for the people in your home, in your community, at your job, anywhere? And the effort that I put in on a daily basis, it's motivated me more to continue to get better as far as putting more effort in. That's why I said my purpose is to become a better communicator so that I can show people. And most people are not where they are because the amount of effort that they actually put in. I see people work hard and they got comfortable with that. But there's levels of working hard. Just because you don't like it don't mean you're working hard. Working hard to me is doing what you need to do but also being diligent about finding ways to not be in this position at the same time 6 months to a year from now. And my students, I'm teaching them a practice that requires a consistent effort. If I can get them to create a routine by the end of the school year, or even just planting the seed, hey, this is what's going to take. I've seen a lot of interviews with people that say when they got to a specific area in life where they were making a lot of money, they didn't have a routine to get better, and it kind of just got swallowed up in the distractions outside. And that's no fault of their own. It's just the lack of information or the lack of guidance. And sometimes you have to fail to learn, unfortunately. And the purpose of me creating these podcasts is try to reduce the failures that are happening, because there aren't any examples of saying, hey, the way that you're going about it could be done better. It's going to take more effort, and it's going to have to take like every day. Like when you want something that's yours, you fall in love with it when you invest in it every single day. There are no off days on investing in something that you care about. When you see people that's in love with their craft, they do it every single day. And then some people feel like, I feel like everybody deserves a break. Well, then maybe this message isn't for you. This message is for people that enjoy what they do, and doing it every single day doesn't require a break. Do you take breaks from brushing your teeth? Do you take breaks on eating? Like, these are things that you're supposed to do to nourish the body. And I believe mentally, if you do something that you love every single day, it's going to eventually get better. And as you get better in that area, you start noticing areas of improvement in those parts that you're supposed to be really good at, and it gets better and better. And after a good amount of investment, fruits will grow in so many different areas of your life. But we have to get out the mindset that we've already put in the effort that we've done. Like, you can get better. Like, I'm close to 50, nowhere near 50, but I'm close enough to say that I'll be 50, before I'll ever be 40. And I love discovering new things that I just was not aware of when I was younger. We've been talking about fault and responsibility. It wasn't fault, how my parents raised me, but it's my responsibility at this age to learn more information and be grateful for what my parents provided me to get to this point, because nobody's coming to save you. And complaining seems to be the average energy that's given out on a daily basis. And I've gotten to the point where I rarely complain. And when I do complain, it's only for moments, because I forget, like, can I do anything about it? Did they know that they were doing it? Or anything to just kind of just say, hey, just keep it moving, because it's not brushing it under the rug. I don't want to say I'm not dealing with it. It's just one of those things. You shouldn't worry about things you can't control. And I think that's the biggest thing. Everybody wants to give. They want to give answers to questions they don't even understand. It just sounds like they understand. And I am still working on trying to listen and try to understand what the person's given. I am still trying to ask many questions. I need to work on how to ask the question without sounding like you're supposed to already know this. And I have a bad problem with that. But I'm working constantly, on purpose, intentional, because at some point, this information is going to sound like, dang, that makes sense. I'm going to try that out. And people who know me, who know my walk, who know my journey, they know I'm taking it seriously as anything in my entire existence. And to move this way has brought peace and happiness in ways that I can't explain. And that's the reason why I'm working on communication, so that these podcasts, these episodes will be evidence to how I've grown through these years. That's the only reason why I wanted to do it, because I wasn't able to say, hey, this is how you got to do it. So I figure at some point, somebody in years from now will be able to analyze, this is what he was telling you guys to do. And maybe at some point, I'll be able to be clear and concise with all of these episodes. But I'm going to close it down. But before I go, I want to give a shout out to all the parents who are doing the best they can. Shout out to all educators, all people who work in the service industry, all people who are protecting this country, for us to be able to have episodes like this in peace and not worry about people trying to infringe on our happiness. Shout out to all of you guys. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action, or that action will get after you. Be great on purpose.